Are you saying you care about me?
Josh.
Sexuality plays an important part. Some people are sexually attracted to no one gender, multiple genders, or simply do not care about what someone's gender is and is attracted to that person because of who they are as a person. Sexuality is not just based on someone being attracted to one gender, whether it be the same or opposite as themselves. There is a lot more to it than that. Sexuality is defined by the World Health Organization as a central aspect of being human throughout life, encompasses sex, gender identities and roles, sexual orientation, eroticism, pleasure, intimacy, and reproduction. Sexuality is experienced and expressed in thoughts, fantasies, desires, beliefs, attitudes, values, behaviors, practices, roles, and relationships. While sexuality can include all of these dimensions, not all of them are always experienced or expressed. Sexuality is influenced by the interaction of biological, psychological, social, economic, political, cultural, legal, historical, religious, and spiritual factors.
Sexuality is basically a shorthand for everything related to sexual behavior. Sexual acts, desire, arousal, the entire experience that is deemed sexual. One part of sexuality is sexual orientation, or who you're sexually attracted to or not. Most people identify as heterosexual, meaning that they're attracted to people of the other gender. While this is the most common orientation, significant numbers of people are homosexual, attracted to people of their own gender. But these are really only poles on a continuum, with plenty of people being attracted to both their own and other genders, as in bisexual or pansexual. And some people are asexual and don't experience sexual attraction at all. Now, these definitions can vary from person to person, just as they vary from society to society. This, and the fact that social norms may make people wish to keep their orientation private, makes estimates of the number of homosexual and bisexual people necessarily imprecise. That said, based on the surveys we do have, around 4% of the American population identifies as gay, lesbian, or bisexual. However, this increases to around 10% if we ask instead whether a person has ever experienced same-sex attraction or engaged in homosexual activity.
Imagine a world where sexuality doesn't exist, and instead there are just people who like hot dogs and people who like tacos. Meet Tom. Tom likes tacos. Meet Jill. Jill likes hot dogs. Tom has always known he'd like tacos over hot dogs, so he never wanted to try a hot dog. Jill tried a taco or two in college, but they weren't to her taste, so she stuck with hot dogs. Now, meet Nick and Allie. Nick prefers hot dogs, while Allie prefers tacos. To Nick, there was something about hot dogs he always liked. He felt good and full and happy when he had hot dogs, while tacos, on the other hand, didn't feel right and gave him a stomachache. When Allie was a kid, she wanted to try tacos. She saw them on TV and billboards, and even though she had never had one, she knew she needed to try. And when she did, it finally made sense why she never enjoyed hot dogs this whole time. Rob and Casey like both hot dogs and tacos. It's not a matter of greed or confusion, they just happen to like both dishes. Sometimes, Casey might be more in the mood for one dish over the other, but she'll still enjoy both. When Rob eats a hot dog, it doesn't mean he stops liking tacos. All it means is that he's eating a hot dog. Now all these tacos and all these hot dogs are made up of different ingredients and have different toppings. There's so many possibilities. You can even have a taco dog. Sometimes a hot dog is better with taco toppings, or a taco is better with hot dog toppings. It doesn't matter so much what it's made of. If it's good, Mary Jo's open to it. Mary Jo is open to hot dogs, tacos, and everything in between. Speaking of ingredients and toppings, these are the main qualities Shane looks for in a dish. Shane needs to like the parts that make up the whole before determining whether or not they like the hot dog or a taco or something in between. Jordan generally doesn't like to eat hot dogs, tacos, or anything in between. Jordan is usually on a juice cleanse. Now, if Tom, who likes tacos, didn't like Nick because he eats hot dogs, that would seem a bit silly. And when Allie likes tacos, it's not because she just hasn't had the right hot dog yet. It's because she likes tacos. And if anyone teased someone else because they didn't like the same food, or if they bullied them, or worse, then that would just seem ridiculous. Because everyone has their own food preference. No one can change that. It's simply a part of a person. Just like sexual preference. Because with all these amazing tacos, hot dogs, and taco dogs, with their countless ingredients and toppings, if we just accept Tom, who likes tacos, and Jill, who likes hot dogs, then we're not only limiting ourselves, that's just not how the world is. Like a buffet, there's so much variety with so many different preferences, and you know what? Each one is just as valid as the next. No one is better, no one is worse, just different. And that's okay.
Asexuality is an orientation in which the individual does not experience sexual attraction.
Heterosexuality is attraction to opposite gender. Homosexuality is attraction to the same gender.
I'm not interested in having sexual contact with a male or female or any gender.
Asexuality is very much not the same thing as being celibate.
Celibacy is a choice.
Planning for the future for someone that you want to save yourself for.
Asexuality is a sexual orientation and therefore not a choice.
No, I have not experienced arousal to date.
Some asexual people definitely experience physiological arousal.
Just like everybody else, people have varying levels of libido.
Because otherwise everyone would say we were straight and like keep treating us as straight.
It doesn't define me, but it is a part of me. And I feel like any close friends that I have, I would want them to know. I told my parents, just because they were bothering me about like, why don't you have a boyfriend? And I'm like, I don't want a boyfriend or a girlfriend or anything.
So when the director of Beauty and the Beast let it be known he had a gay character with, quote, a gay moment, you know the studio is trying to say something. LeFou may only be the sidekick to villain Gaston, but it's enough for those who have lamented the lack of gay characters in family films.
It's lonely not being able to see yourself in your favourite genre of film. And so to have an explicitly gay character in a Disney film now for children or to go along to the cinema and see it's just huge.
In some aspects of popular culture, like movies and music, the LGBTQ+ community does not get much representation. Or, if they do, it is not always positive, and in most movie endings with an LGBTQ+ main character, they often die. But times have been changing, and there has been more representation of the LGBTQ+ community now than ever before.
LGBT people can be more than just the sidekick. We can be the heroes. Where are the LGBT Avengers? Where are the LGBT Jedis? I think that's the real question.
For many, though, this is Hollywood catching up with its audience and the wider acceptance in society. Duncan.
How about attraction? Some people argue the natural thing is to only be attracted to the opposite sex. But in practice, it ain't so simple, kids. Some people are gay, some are bi, some are asexual, and some will take whatever they can get. You know what I mean? It's another sexy sliding scale. How you dress, how you act and talk, how you present yourself to the world, it should be up to you. Sure, this might make things confusing for those who insist everyone pick an M or an F, but people, we have to listen to the science. And the science says we're all on a spectrum. Our labels, our fashion, even our washrooms are still catching up to that truth. I think you'll find when we look at sexuality this way, it is more complicated, but it's also a lot more honest. And it's more interesting. I learned a lot tonight. I mean, I'm this cis male guy who's been living in this world. But this stuff, to me, from a scientific standpoint, is just cool. Science is the process by which we understand nature, by which we understand our place in the world, how we all fit in. And so every one of these insights is just so exciting for me. We, working together, can, dare I say it, save the world.